Okay, now you're on the video. That was my daughter. So, anyways, hi everybody. I'm Shena Major and I'm your life coach. And today I'm going to try to explain to you the best I can why we say yes when we really mean no. So, let's get started. Would you like to say hi to the people? She just walked away. Okay, so this is the thing. For me, many times I have said yes and I didn't want to. I really wanted with every fiber in me to say no, but instead I said yes. And then that other person walked away happy, and I'm feeling like now I've got myself into something and I can't get myself out of it. So I'm going to talk about where this comes from. And the first thing I want to say is normally this type of response is rooted in codependency. And the best way for me to explain codependency is when you try to please other people, you try to fix other people, and you try to get other people to see your point of view. So if you fall into any of those categories, there's a good chance that you could be a codependent, and those are some of the reasons why you're saying yes when you really mean no. Now, codependency really starts off from what I've researched and what I've studied and what I've learned. It comes from childhood. Now, normally in your childhood, you have probably experienced some things that were not your fault at all. There were things that people did to you or said to you, or how someone had treated you. So now your mind, your subconscious mind has become that. That's what you've become, that thing. So your behavior is working from the past. So now you're an adult and you're still carrying out these childhood programs. So now you're finding yourself in situations and relationships where you're trying to rewrite these wrongs. You're trying to get people to see that you are not what someone has made you feel. So let me back up a little bit. So some of the things that could have happened to you in childhood could have been some abandonment issues, some things where you felt like you were not seen and you were not heard and you were not taken care of and your basic needs even were not met. There could have been some types of physical, mental, or verbal abuse that has taken place as well, and that's allowed you to behave as an adult the way you have carried on. And these things that have happened to you aren't your fault. So now you're finding people to try to fix what happened to you. So you're picking people who are hurting, you're picking people who are in pain, you're picking people who you think you can save and you can fix, because in reality that's what you need. You haven't taken the time to go within and to heal the wounds from those traumatic experiences that you did have. And this is why you're always doing something you don't want to do. You're saying yes when you mean no. You know, you're in a relationship with a person that you know isn't good for you, like I say all the time, and it's hurting you, but you still stay anyways. And this is what we're trying to move away from on this channel, and we're trying to heal from that. But the only way you can really heal from that is if you take a minute to move away from trying to help someone else, because what you're doing is you're using someone else's problems as a distraction from you taking the time to figure out what it is that you need to do to heal yourself and those wounds that you have. And it's a cycle. You keep getting deeper and deeper into it the longer you put off doing something for yourself. So the cycle goes like this. Someone asks you to do something or put you in a situation that you're not comfortable with, but you go through it anyways. Then you feel bad about yourself, which projects back to your childhood and how you felt about yourself when you were treated the way you were by the adults in your life. So now your self-worth is bad. So now you try to find someone else, or you stay in a relationship where you feel like you have some control, that you can fix the person or change that person or help that person. or you're staying in it because that's all you know. That's what you're used to. You're used to the pain. You're used to um, trying to be seen, trying to be heard, and the suffering. So that's a comfort zone for you. You're comfortable there. And now that you're there, you realize that you're doing things and saying things and behaving in ways that aren't really the real you because you're stuck back in that childhood era. So it's this cycle that will keep going on and on. And the way to get out of it is not to keep trying to fix and help and please someone else, but to try to take a minute for yourself and stop and go within and learn what it is that you need, and start to see yourself for who you really are, and start to validate yourself and heal some of those traumas that you've experienced. Now, back to the question is, why do you say yes when you mean no? What I want to do now is give you some scenarios and some things you can say to help slowly work you out of this pattern, out of this cycle, out of this merry-go-round that you've been on. And let's say your friend calls you after work on a Friday and wants to hang out at the mall with you and shop. And instead of saying, yeah, sure, instead you can say something like, you know, Sally, hanging out with you at the mall is always a good time, but I've had a long week and I really just need to go home and have a hot bath and spend some time for me. Hopefully we can do it another time. And if Sally's really your friend, she's going to understand that, she's going to honor that, and she's going to say, hey, no problem. I'll catch you next time. Okay? Let's say your mom wants you to run some errands for her. And normally your mom calls you, you drop everything you're doing, because remember, you're trying to fix that wound from childhood and you're trying to be good and you're trying to be enough. So you say, sure, I'll do that. But in actuality, you didn't want to. So instead you can say, you know, Mom, whenever I have a chance, I'm always willing to help you, but my schedule is full today and I really need to focus on the things that I have to get done. I'm sure the next time I could possibly be available to help you. I'm sure you understand. Okay? And that puts you in a position of power in a healthy way. It puts you in a position where you're able to speak up for yourself and let that parent know that you are your own person and you have things that you need to take care of as well. Let's see. A third example is your neighbor was like, hey, can you watch my kids for me? And normally you react and you're like, sure, but we're not doing that anymore. You can say something like, you know, I really adore your children. They're so cute, but I really need to get this paperwork done for myself so I can turn it in on time, and I'm not going to be able to help you out this evening. I'm sure you can see where I'm coming from. And if they're a good neighbor, and if there's someone that you've helped out before, I'm sure they'll understand, and they'll be like, hey, you know, no problem, maybe next time, and then all is good. You know, you're feeling good about yourself, and you've explained, well, not really explained yourself, but you've spoken up for yourself. And then if that person is someone who should be in your life, they're going to understand and they're not going to get upset. So being able to begin to say no instead of yes is the first step in really healing and taking time to look at your experiences as a child and really start to heal those wounds and move forward in your life. So I hope this explanation has helped you. And if you want to learn more, you can go to shenamajor.com, and I have a 12-week workbook course on healing from these childhood wounds and unhealthy relationships called 7 Pillars to Discovering You. So with that, I'm going to give you a chance to go back and listen to the video again and try to really work through some of these things so you can heal. And also you can get that book at youcanheal.shenamajor.com. It's everything I did to pull myself out of the pattern of being in abusive relationships and painful situations, and I wrote it all down. So with that, I will see you soon, and thank you for watching today. Talk later. Bye-bye.